We are celebrating today.
We are.
Yeah.
The podcast, I think, is officially a toddler.
It is a toddler. It's
I
in
know
the terrible threes.
Yeah, the terrible threes. We're officially 3 years old. Technically March 26th, but this is the first day we're recording since then.
We're doing it.
We are. So happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday. Hello, everyone. I'm Dina.
And I'm Charlotte.
Welcome to the Grim Curriculum Extra Credit.
Welcome, welcome. Now, if you're watching on Patreon, you'll notice Dina has two lovely little quaint glasses in her hands, and I'm holding a bottle of bubbly because I thought, you know what? Not every day you turn 3 years old.
Yeah.
And so I've bought a bottle of sparkling wine for the occasion. So we're going to crack it for y'all.
Yes.
So if you want to see me crack this cork, then you're going to have to go to Patreon. But if not, you can listen to me struggle on the audio platforms.
Just little rustling sounds for the next few minutes.
We're going to try not to murder anything or anyone with the cork. I'm going to try and do it professionally. So
I mean, if one of us got killed doing this,
wouldn't that be something?
good content. It's
strange
and
unusual death of the day.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, goodness. You're probably getting some like crushedly
some ASMR
here for the foil.
I'm glad you're the one doing this.
Oh, I've opened many a bottle of bubbly in my day.
So yeah, we are almost at episode 150 of the regular show.
Yeah.
Episode 50. Is this episode 50? Hold
on. It's either 49 or 50 today.
I should probably look into that.
Don't worry, I won't pop the cork before we have the answer.
This is episode 50 of Extra Credit. Yes. And very exciting.
I guess it's all lining up really nicely here. So, without further ado, now, do you want me to hold on to this bad boy or do you want me to let her rip? I just don't want it to ping off something.
Let her rip, just don't hit the Peloton.
I think we can avoid it.
Just hit the uranium glass cabinet.
Oh, no. Okay. I don't want, you know what? I know you want me to, but I'm going to try to do it safely because I don't trust it.
Charlotte's playing it safe. That's probably smart.
Brace your ears. There's going to be a pop.
Ooh.
Very nice.
That was a very satisfying pop.
Yeah. So it should be a little chilled. It's been in my fridge at home. Ooh.
Oh.
And now these are little glasses.
Here's some sounds for you guys. There we go.
We can top up as we're talking this episode. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh. I'm gonna need more than this, Charlotte. I'm not gonna lie. This is
the bubbly has rescinded.
Yes. Ooh. We're celebrating.
Ooh, very nice.
Beautiful.
Very nice sounds.
Beautiful.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Charlotte has spilled all over herself.
All over myself. Just a drop or two on the chair. It's fine. You know what? It must be just a day because I was making a fancy latte type coffee thing earlier and I proceeded to absolutely make a colossal mess of that too. So it's just a messy day. But
it's one of those days.
Cheers.
Clink.
Clink.
All right. Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got a couple of stories. I've got a few local and Canadian stories. So where do you want to begin today?
I really want to start the show because I have something that is an update.
Okay.
We haven't covered this, and this is a case that I really do want us to talk about, but this is something I have been waiting for a very long time, and we finally have an answer.
Wow.
So Yolanda Saldívar,
yes,
the woman convicted of killing the wonderful, the amazing Selena, is denied parole.
I saw this, and honestly, good.
Big time good. And the thing is, I think if they let her out, girl would not last 5 minutes.
Oh, even under some kind of witness protection, name change, new town sort of situation, I think people would figure out who she was pretty quick. And if the internet has anything to say about it, she would not last long. You're absolutely right.
She would not be like Casey Anthony up on TikTok doing her thing.
No, I think if she had not been denied parole, I think it would have been in her very best interest to lay as low as possible. I don't think there would be any books, movie deals coming from her side of thing, because I think to do so would result in her vigilante style death.
She is, I would say, universally hated.
Absolutely. She absolutely stole a voice from heaven.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're saying absolutely a lot because I mean that we feel strongly about this. I discovered Selena when I watched the movie when I was younger with Jennifer Lopez.
Yes.
Wonderful film. But her music, I love it.
I love it.
Mango, love Selena. He loves Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb. He dances to it. Like, he goes nuts.
He's got good taste.
He does. And so I do want to talk about it really quick.
Yeah.
So she murdered Selena in 1995, and she was denied parole last Thursday. She was convicted of fatally shooting her. And Selena, for those of you who don't know, she was a Mexican-American singer in the 90s, and she was just at the very height of something that was going to be universally amazing.
She was going to be, and I mean, remains, she was something else.
Yeah.
And absolutely, she was taken out at the peak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that rising star was 100% defined by Selena and snuffed out.
She was really starting to break into the English music scene.
Yes.
And getting a lot of attention, and her star was just squashed by this terrible toad of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
The Board of Pardons has issued a statement saying, after a thorough consideration of all available information, which included any confidential interviews conducted, it was the paroles panel determination to deny parole to Yolanda Saldívar and set her next parole review for March 2030.
Oh, wow. So we're going to be waiting another 5 years before we hear from her again. That's fine. Honestly, too soon. I don't think so either. I don't think it would be in her best interest either way, to be honest.
No, because again, there are so many people, and even online, people were like, it's on site.
Yeah, the day she gets paroled, there will be a lot of people waiting outside those prison gates on that day.
Her family has issued a statement, that is Selena's family, saying, while nothing can bring Selena back, this decision reaffirms that justice continues to stand for the beautiful life that was taken from us and from millions of fans around the world far too soon. Selena's legacy is one of love, music, and inspiration. She lived a joy, gave selflessly, and continues to uplift generations with her voice and her spirit. So Saldívar was president of her fan club and manager of 2 of her clothing boutiques before she killed the 23-year-old singer, and she was so young.
And it was over money, too.
Money, absolutely.
You know, you would hear the story and think, oh, president of the fan club, like, are we talking like a John Lennon situation, crazed fan? You know, not at all. It was a money dispute.
And this was a close friend of hers. This was someone who she really cared for.
She trusted.
She did, absolutely. And her family had fired her from the fan club. And so they had a conversation afterwards where Selena did confront her. She was shot in the back. Saldívar then followed her until the singer collapsed in the lobby of the boutique. She locked herself in a trunk outside and threatened to kill herself. And before Selena lost consciousness, she told motel employees who shot her. A jury found Saldívar guilty of first-degree murder in October 1995, and she was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. And I really hope that she stays there.
Me too. I agree.
Saldívar spoke out about the killing in a 2024 Oxygen series called Selena and Yolanda, The Secrets Between Them, in which she denied that she embezzled money and claimed without evidence that she was covering up Selena's extramarital affair.
Oh, come on. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know, just, you killed someone, you've served your time, fucking deal with it.
And that's part of the reason why she didn't get parole, is because she's still sticking to this story. There's no accountability. She doesn't really seem sorry about what she did. She's really just trying to protect herself, and no one's buying it.
It's not a case of, I'm sorry I did it. It's a case of, I'm sorry you caught me.
Exactly.
So, goodbye, Yolanda.
Yeah, I hope she rots in prison. I hope she's miserable. I hope she has to sleep on a very hard bed and her back hurts all the time because she's old. And yeah, I don't think that she will ever see the light of day. I genuinely hope not. And she is not one of those people who is in prison getting fan mail. She is, again, universally hated.
Yeah, so goodbye, Yolanda.
Yeah, fuck you, Yolanda.
My story is a very recent one. And at first I was like, this sounds mighty familiar. Have we already talked about this before? And we did talk about a case very similar, not only, I think, maybe a couple of episodes ago.
Okay.
We got another case of a lady looking to have her husband murdered by hitman. Again, except this time she's an Alberta woman.
Ooh.
So this is coming out of CBC News Calgary from March 17th, 2025. Alberta woman tells undercover cop she hired to kill husband. So when Audra Lynn Simbalisti used the phrase, "till death do us part," she was in a gas station parking lot in Carstairs, Alberta, about an hour's drive north of Calgary, trying to hire a hitman to kill her husband on the couple's 18th wedding
Oh
anniversary.
my goodness.
Audra said she wanted to part with her husband by arranging for his death, but she had no idea she'd actually engaged with an undercover police officer.
When is it not an undercover police
It's
officer?
always a undercover police officer, you guys. So back earlier in March, Simbalisti did plead guilty to counseling an undercover police officer to commit the murder of her spouse, Dawn. The 60-year-old grandmother sat in the prisoner's box in a navy blue jail-issued sweatsuit with her graying blonde hair piled on top of her head. Court of King's Bench Justice Michelle Hollins accepted a joint submission for a 5-year prison sentence. With credit for the time she has already served, she has about 3.5 years left on her sentence. Basically, she was just not happy in her marriage anymore.
Get a divorce.
I know. So Don, her husband, was a long-haul trucker who frequently drove between Canada and the US for work, and it said by early 2024, the couple's relationship had deteriorated and the two were inattentive and verbally abusive to one another. Over a 6-week period in early 2024, Audra had several conversations about her husband with an acquaintance who took his concerns to the Didsbury RCMP in February of 2024. So basically, Audra was like, to some friends, I'm not happy in my marriage. I'm thinking about off and Dawn. So one of her friends was like, oh, well, I like Dawn, so I'm going to go to the RCMP. And then the RCMP set her up.
And you know what? If your friend is saying that, it's okay to tell people.
100%. You don't want to be the one that's like, oh, Audra killed Dawn, and I could have done something about it.
Exactly.
So the day that she met up with the police officer was actually their wedding anniversary, and she had posted on Facebook that day, 18 years. So hard to believe. Happy anniversary, hun. Can't wait for our beautiful supper date. Woot woot.
Oh, I hate it.
Meanwhile, she was in a gas station parking lot offering an undercover officer $5,000 to kill her
gonna
husband.
ask how much. That is not enough.
No.
You do not bargain hunt killing somebody. Don't kill somebody, but still, it's gonna cost
No.
more than that.
During the meetup, she told the undercover officer that her husband was, quote, a problem that she wanted gone. She did not want anything temporary, any hospital stuff, or any broken legs. She wanted it to be just permanent. She confirmed that she wanted to hire a hitman. And I've watched many different movies, like where you hire people as a hitman and different things like that, she told the undercover officer.
She's a pro.
She expressed that she did not want the killing to happen at the family home and that she told the undercover officer she didn't want him to share too many details of the planned killing. The first person that's going to get questioned and shit is me, she told the officer. I don't want to know anything about anything. Everything will be a surprise. So the two met the next day, this time in the Olds Canadian Tire parking lot.
Oh my God.
She handed over $1,000 in cash, which was their agreed upon 20% down, as well as photos of her husband and his truck, and was like, yeah, get her done.
Oh my God.
The former couple have a blended family of adult children. So yeah, she's going to be serving the rest of her 3.5 years, but that's it. All she got was 5 years for this.
Have they gotten divorced? Do we know this yet? Because I could see crazier things have happened where, maybe Don's a very forgiving guy and he's like, we can work this out. I love you. But I feel like if your spouse tries to purchase your death, that's grounds to leave.
Well, you'd actually be surprised here because while her adult daughter, was basically quoted as saying, did you really think you were so smart that you would outsmart the system and get away with this?
Ooh.
So she was not pleased. How and why could a grandmother, be so selfish and so willing to sacrifice everything?
Mm-hmm.
And while her husband, Don, was not in court for his former spouse's plea, so it does sound like they've separated, but he did write a statement where he said he has mixed emotions and felt betrayed at the highest level, but he also says that he forgives Audra. I realized in these circumstances, I do not know what Audra is capable of, wrote Don. It is finished. Goodbye.
Good.
So he did forgive her, but he didn't stick around. And I can admire that. I don't know that I'd be forgiving her, but forgiveness is different for different people.
I don't know, I've held a grudge for a lot less.
Oh, I'm a grudge holder. I
Yep.
believe in it. While I think forgive and forget can be very helpful for a lot of people, I think forgiveness is a personal thing, and I don't think you have to forgive people. I think you can
No.
hold that shit till the day you die if you want to.
If I found out you were trying to hire someone to kill me, I'd be pretty mad.
Oh, I'd be pretty fuming. And first of all, I'd be like, why?
What'd I do?
What did I do that was so bad? Because to me, short of me killing someone and you being like, "Oh, that was scary. I need to hire a hitman."
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of understand it.
Mhm.
There's other ways to deal, but I kind of understand it.
Okay.
But like if it's just I don't like my husband. We're verbally abusive. We haven't gotten along.
Yeah.
Our adult children are moved on. Just guys, divorce.
The percentage of people who get divorced is incredibly high, and I
Yes.
think that's one of those things where you hear all these stories about, like, "My grandma put up with her husband for 65 years, and he was terrible to her. You need to stick it out in a marriage." That's bullshit. Get
Absolutely not.
divorced. Just call it quits, live your life, get some cats.
Mhm. 'Cause in them days too, it would be like, "Oh, yeah, Grandpa Joe just died really young." And then you find out on grandma's deathbed that she was the one that killed him because she couldn't take it anymore.
Exactly.
Just split up.
Just split up, and it's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
all right. You know, and the other thing I'd be upset about too if this was between you and I,
Yes.
I'd be like, $5,000? Are you
No.
stupid? I'd be mad at you about that too.
I would be like classic Julius Caesar, whichever Caesar it was that got kidnapped, and then when he found out that the pirates or whatever had kidnapped him, weren't asking nearly enough for his ransom, he was
Yeah,
basically like, excuse me, ask them for more."
exactly. I'd be a little offended that you think my life is only worth
$5,000.
$5,000. That's not a lot. Canadian.
Canadian. Don't do it, guys.
Yeah, well, you know what? Grandma needs to get her shit together.
I guess so. 60 is also too old to be hiring hitman. You should know better at 60.
You really should.
Hiring a hitman is like in your early 20s when you're crazy and unstable and all over the place.
Sure.
Sure. I get it. When you're 60, that is the time of life when you're solid in yourself.
Mhm.
You're good. You should be able to let certain things roll off your back or just deal with them in a slightly better way.
Yes. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's very common, these hitman stories,
It
and you'd
seems
think
like it.
people would eventually learn, but they don't.
They don't. Google's for you guys.
Speaking of people who just don't learn,
Oh, no.
I have another tragic submarine story.
What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, y'all know I love the deep sea. I
Mhm.
love these submarine stories. I do. There was a time before OceanGate that I wished
We
I was
talked
one of
about
those
it.
people. I would have given anything to see the Titanic with my own eyes, and I'm glad that I didn't have that kind of money. So, literally just happened. A tourist submarine sank in the Red Sea, killing at least 6 people. It had been taking visitors to look at coral reefs when the incident took place.
Okay, are we talking another like, I'm a billionaire and I'm making a submarine in my backyard. Come along, tourist. Or was this like a more legit
This was
operation?
a little bit more legit, I would
Okay.
say. So, local media in Egypt reported that 6 people have died and 9 others have been injured as a submarine sank in the Red Sea.
Oh.
According to a local newspaper, the submarine was nicknamed Sinbad and was located in the Hurghada area of the Red Sea in Egypt, and it was prepared to set off to give tourists a view of coral reefs. There were approximately 44 passengers of different nationalities. They had boarded the submarine, and it was stationed in front of the marina of one of the most famous hotels in the country on March
Whoa.
27th. So this just happened.
So did it happen like while it was fully submerged and everything? Or was it like an accident that happened while it was still waiting in its dock?
It was down far enough.
Oh, yikes.
So, a rescue operation began after the submarine began to sink, with the Red Sea Health Directorate and the Egyptian Ambulance Authority reportedly placed on maximum alert, and 21 ambulances dispatched to the scene along with security and rescue forces.
Whoa.
They have rescued 29 of the passengers from the vessel. Of the 9 who were injured in the incident, 4 are said to be in critical conditions. And Sinbad, the submarine,
Yes.
has been running tourist trips for several years. The website boasts that it holds 2 of the only 14 real recreational submarines in the world. The company allows tourists to travel 25 meters deep in the sea to explore 500 meters of coral reef and its marine inhabitants, and to go below sea level for 40 minutes enjoying the corals and the fish with divers to take photos for unforgettable memory. Then you will be transferred back to the same boat in the marine.
Wow.
So the submarine itself offers 44 passenger seats, so it's definitely bigger.
Oh, wow,
It's a big
way
submarine,
bigger.
yeah. It has 2 pilot seats and a sizable round viewing window for each passenger, so it's not like Ocean Gate where you have, like.
It's just a little tin
Yeah,
can, basically.
exactly.
Okay.
They say we provide point-to-point transfer from your hotel to our terminal, including land-sea transportation, and all with an excellent level of service. On site, the company explains that oxygen masks and life vests are available in the vessel in case of emergency. Usually, the journeys begin at 11 a.m., followed by a boat ride to the submarine, which is then boarded at around 12:35. This day, it sank, and yeah, it was real bad.
I can't imagine this is good for business, especially after the whole Ocean Gate situation. I wonder if various navies around the world are seeing a decline in people signing up to be submariners.
I could see that.
I mean, on one hand, I would have a lot more confidence, I think, in like an actual military nuclear submarine.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
would hope.
Mhm.
But I mean, I've been on the little submarines at West Edmonton Mall back in the day. I don't know if you
Yeah,
ever did
yeah.
that. But now if I were going on holiday and something like that were offered, I'd be like, "No, thank you. If I'm gonna go see the coral reef, I will go out on a boat and I will snorkel or scuba dive."
The ocean is scary.
Well, and I'm just like, how many divers, I mean, diving can be a very dangerous activity, don't get
Mhm.
me wrong, but it's like we can dive as human beings with our scuba gear and our flippers.
Yeah.
Why do we need to be crammed into a 44-man submarine?
I don't need to go that far down.
25 meters doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot when it comes to pressure.
Oh, absolutely. So Steve is a huge scuba diver.
Oh,
He's done,
exciting.
like, shark scuba diving, all that
Oh, I
sorts
would
of crazy
love to
stuff.
do that.
I've only done it once, and I remember very vividly, so I was in the ocean,
Mhm.
and I'm down there, and the stupid thing that I did is I'm very blind.
Oh, same.
Like, I'm super blind,
Yeah.
so I couldn't wear my contacts or my glasses,
Yep.
obviously, so I'm going in blind, which was dumb, but I wanted to do it, and I'm like, "I just wanna see stuff,
Mhm.
whatever, as best as I can." And there was one point where I am down as far as we can go,
Mhm.
and I had a moment where I started to feel very anxious,
Oh, no.
and I'm like, "Okay, this is actually kinda scary. I can't, I'm not used to breathing like this, I'm not used to
Yep.
swimming like this." And I had this thought in my mind where I'm like, if you don't get your shit together, you're gonna die. So get it together. And
Mhm.
luckily I did. But even just that was horrifying.
Yes, and it's unless you're very experienced and it's something that you're doing all the time, like you say, breathing even through a snorkel or
Mhm.
a respirator mouthpiece that's going to your oxygen tank, it doesn't feel natural
It does
unless it's
not.
something that you're doing all the
Yeah.
time. So like you say, if you have that moment where in your head you're like, "Oh no, the panic,"
Mhm.
your brain shuts off and goes back to what it knows, which is not breathing through a tube.
Exactly.
And so then, like you say, hella dangerous.
Mhm.
And then, not only that, a drowning person becomes the biggest danger to everybody around you.
100%.
I don't wanna advise or ill advise anybody, but be wary of people who are drowning because more often than not, they drown the people trying to rescue
Of
them.
course they do.
So, yeah, I don't know, I love the water, you love the
Mhm.
water. I love the unknown, and I love the exploration. But it's not gonna be me going down in some sketchy submarine.
I'm not going in a submarine, but I'm definitely scuba diving again.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that for
Yeah, like,
sure.
one of my biggest dreams in life is to go even just cage diving with great whites because I
Oh,
wanna see them up
yes, I
close,
would
but I've
love.
seen videos where, like, they getcha.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm still gonna
But
do it,
again,
though.
you're going in with the mind that what I'm doing is a dangerous and sort of
Yes.
risky activity, whereas I feel like the people going down in their little submarine to go see the coral reef, they're thinking, "Oh, this'll be a nice afternoon."
Oh,
Do you know
absolutely.
what I mean? People that go base jumping or skydiving or whatever else have you, the very exciting things, the rock climbing, they do it knowing that there is a level of risk.
Yeah.
But tourists, yeah, like I say, they didn't go in that day thinking, "Ooh, what if?" They're thinking, "Yeah, this is gonna be great. We're gonna see some coral reefs, and then we're gonna have dinner back at the hotel."
Absolutely, because they think it's totally safe, but you know what? Sometimes it's not.
I would be definitely second guessing this kinda
Mhm.
stuff. This, came up on my TikTok of all
Ooh,
things,
okay.
and then I tracked it back, and I thought it was more recent. It's not as recent as I initially thought, but still a hilarious short little story, I think. Actually, a little scary, but a little hilarious in how it was reacted to, let's put it
Okay.
that way. So, this is out of Airdrie, which is also just outside of Calgary here in Alberta, and this is from December of 2018, so a few years ago. It says, the city of Airdrie is warning the public to keep an eye out for a brightly painted coyote that was shot with a paint gun after attacking a 6-year-old child
Oh
at
my
the Light
god.
Festival. It was the second attack in Nose Creek Park in a matter of days, the city's parks department said. The parks department is very concerned with the brazenness of the coyotes in this area. We're taking immediate action to maintain safety. So, the reason this kind of caught my eye is one, crazy, a coyote
Mhm.
attacking a child, but Airdrie mom, Elizabeth Dawn, wrote on Facebook that the victim of Monday's attack was her 6-year-old son. She said that his snowsuit protected him from being injured and that her boyfriend took quick action to kick the animal off of the child. However, she said, he is a bit upset that he has not turned into a werewolf yet.
Oh, okay, I love this. I love
Is
this
that
kid.
not so funny? He gets attacked by a coyote and he's like, hell yeah, here we go. It's gonna be
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
And then, like, every day passes, like, "Mom, is it gonna happen
Is it
yet?"
a full moon yet?
Man, I'm sorry, I know you shouldn't lead your kids on, but if I were his mother, I'd be like, "It's not a full moon yet, you gotta wait for the full moon."
Yeah, if you're really good, you might turn into
Might
coyote.
happen. Um, she thanked the city and the Airdrie Festival of Light Society for quickly clearing the area and keeping attendees at the festival safe. Fish and Wildlife have said that they're going to patrol. And the reason as well, I know this dates back to 2018, but we are seeing more and more, even in Edmonton,
Mhm.
coyotes get pretty brazen.
Yeah.
And people can't believe that they're just walking down city streets,
Mhm.
but Edmonton especially, and Calgary more so, because so close to the mountains
Yeah.
and everything. Um, Calgary has the Bow River running through it. We
Mhm.
have the Saskatchewan or North Saskatchewan River, and with that is the river valleys that brings all these
Yep.
animals. This is their area, this is their land. We're the encroachers upon it. But yeah, be careful out there, guys, especially if you're walking your dogs and stuff.
I was in, my old neighborhood, and I was walking with my cousin through a ravine with my dog,
Mhm.
and we heard some rustling behind us, and we could tell
Oh.
there was something, but we couldn't see anything. And so after a few minutes of walking, all of a sudden, 2 coyotes just walk in front of us, and they kinda turned and they looked at us and they kept walking, and we were like, "Okay, maybe we should go home."
Mhm.
But even where I live now, we have 2 that very regularly are right in my backyard.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
named them Sharon and Ozzy
Oh
because we love
my
them,
god, amazing.
and we see them all the time, and, they don't get too close, but
Mhm.
they're
Well,
close.
like the article says, they're brazen.
Mhm.
They're not afraid to kind of push the limit to see what they're allowed to get away with. So it does say in the article, and I think great advice for anyone that comes across wild animals, but it says, if you encounter coyotes, you should make yourself appear large, wave your arms, throw objects, and shout while maintaining eye contact. If it approaches, don't run. Back away
Mhm.
slowly, because running can trigger their prey drive. If you
Yep.
run, they're gonna run right after you, and I assure you, you can't outrun a coyote.
No, you can't.
Not unless you're like Usain Bolt's level of fit,
Yeah.
and you're not.
No, you're not.
So
It's crazy because even here where I live now, there's some nights where I go to just let the dog out, and she won't go,
yeah, because
and
she
I'm like, "Oh, no,
knows.
she knows something's out there."
Yeah. But yeah, so, back in 2018, but watch out for the coyotes if you're in a Canadian city.
Yeah, I just saw a video of them walking on people's fences.
Yes, I saw that
Yeah.
too. Just like doo,
Yeah.
strolling along.
Mhm.
That's why, I mean, again, different argument, but and I don't have a cat, but I think if you're in the city, don't let your cats be outside
Oh,
cats
I have very strong
for
opinions
a
about
number
this.
of reasons, but a big reason is them coyotes just see it as a quick snack.
Mhm.
So, yeah, keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
What else we got?
That brings us to our latest strange and unusual death. It is submarine themed.
Again.
Because I thought it was
I
appropriate.
mean, hey.
So we're talking about a fella named John Day, who was a
Okay.
carpenter who died in 1774.
Oh.
He is the first recorded death in an accident with a submarine.
Well, the first of many, it would seem.
Exactly. With the financial support of Christopher Blake, an English gambler, Day built a wooden diving chamber without an engine. He attached his invention to the diving deck of a 50-ton sloop named the Maria, which Blake had purchased for 340 pounds at the time.
Oh.
The sloop's hold contained 10 tons of ballast and two 10-ton weights, which were attached beneath the keel, which could be released from inside the diving chamber. An additional 20 tons of ballast would be loaded on the Maria after Day had been locked into the diving chamber. So he had previously spent 6 hours underwater, and he bet with Blake that he and his boat could ascend to a depth of 130 feet, 40 meters, and stay underwater for 12 hours.
I tell you, male risk assessment, not what it should be.
No.
Historically speaking, you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. And to be fair, he's the first of his kind.
Yes.
But why haven't we learned from his mistakes?
We should have. Blake lost his initial bets on the venture with other gamblers due to delays in the construction of the diving chamber. On June 22, 1774, the Maria was towed to a location north of Drake's Island in the Plymouth Sound off of Plymouth, England.
Okay, yep.
Day took a candle, water, and biscuits on board. The boat was equipped with a hammock for the passenger, and after the boat was locked, the weights were loaded and the boat sank forever into the depths. Day had the calculation of the trim completely wrong, and it had been speculated that he may have died from asphyxiation, hypothermia, or claustrophobic structural failure of the Maria and or diving chamber due to water pressure.
I wonder if he had taken the temperature into consideration.
I don't think he did.
I don't think so either.
Nikolai Deltev Falk mounted a search rescue attempt a month after the descent.
Oh, they were like, let's make sure he's good and dead before we send
They thought that
anyone.
he might be alive in a form of suspended animation, but without success.
Okay.
And in 1775, Falk published a pamphlet called A Philosophical Dissertation on the Diving Vessel Projected by Mr. Day and Sunk in Plymouth Sound about Day's experiment. His death was the first recorded fatal accident involving a submarine.
It's so wild to me because it's just occurred that even into like the very first motor cars as we know them, like they thought that like a woman couldn't ride over 30 miles an hour because her uterus would fall out. But men are like, no, sink me to the bottom of the channel, boys, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And not only that, not only will he be fine, but a month after they're like, nah, he's like cryogenically frozen. He'll be fine.
He's got biscuits. He's fine.
We'll just resusc when he gets up.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, hey, we don't get places without experimentation.
I guess.
And sometimes people die. Actually, a lot of times people die during experiments, and they tend to be men. So I don't know why. Maybe men gather around, have a little talk about your death rate. Because this is ridiculous.
Especially on a gambling bet.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, I want to build a submarine. I have a really great idea. It's going to be great. You there that gambles.
Yeah.
Lend me your money.
Yeah.
Again, the risk assessment.
And then bet me more that I can do better than I have last time.
That's only going to end in death.
It is.
Well, rip. Rest in pepperonis.
Yep. Sorry, John Day. You did not make it.
You didn't make it.
Thank you all so much for listening. This has been the Grim Curriculum.
Sorry.
Thank you all so much for listening. This has been the Grim Curriculum.
Extra credit.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't dive deep.
No.
Don't do it.
Put your little stuff on. Put your flippers on.
Yeah.
Don't need to go any further than that.
And stay away from dogs.